talk about the destruction of the king of the reign of Israel, the northern reign, and now the captivity of the southern reign. Some people were taken captive to Babylon, and later, this is the year 605 before Christ, 605 before Christ. But then in 597 and 586, they took more captives, especially the last time when they also destroyed the city and the temple, and the kingdom was totally defeated and destroyed and became a province of the Babylonian Empire. We also commented that this was the will of God. It was a judgment against Judah for their sin, their rebellion, their idolatry. And we said that the king ordered his officials to choose young people from the children of Israel, from the nation of Israel, with these characteristics. I'm going to repeat it. Young men in whom there was no blemish, but good-looking, gifted in all wisdom, possessing knowledge and quick to understand, who had ability to serve in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the language and literature of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed for them a daily provision of the king's delicacies and of the wine which he drank, and 3 years of training for them, so that at the end, at that time, they might serve before the king. So they were chosen to be brainwashed. That's the idea. To wash their brains, to change their culture, their beliefs, their language, everything, and to adapt to a new country, the new empire, the new world. Today it happens too. We are in a new world. All you say is out of fashion. Bible. The Bible is an old book written by men. Come on. We have to contextualize the church. Yes, sure. Contextualize. Let's see. Verse 6. Now, from among those of the sons of Judah were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. To them, the chief of the eunuchs gave names. He gave Daniel the name Belteshazzar, to Hananiah Shadrach, to Mishael Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. So, they even changed their names. All their names had something to do with God in their names, but they changed it. They changed that, and now the names, the new Babylonian names, have to do with Babylonian gods. They have many gods. And the principal one was Marduk. Marduk was the principal in that pantheon, in their mythology. Marduk was the principal god. But Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's delicacies, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore, he requested of the chief of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. They wanted to wash their brains, especially their culture, their beliefs. But Daniel was a young man, educated, well educated in the Word of God, in his home, and he decided not to betray his family, his God, his values, his principles. By conviction, not by tradition, by conviction. He truly believed in the true God, the God of Israel. Now, God had brought Daniel into the favor and goodwill of the chief of the eunuchs. Who? God. God gave him grace. God gave him grace to talk to this man who was in power over him, who has the authority. And the chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who has appointed your food and drink. For why should he see your faces looking worse than the young men who are your age? Then you will endanger my head before the king. Sure, his head was in danger. He said, I fear the king. These kings were not like the statesmen of today, right? Well, the democratic statesmen. Right? No, they have power of life and death. So if the king didn't like anything, maybe a little thing, they could say, behead him. So he was really afraid, scared. Daniel said to the steward, whom the chief of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, please test your servants for 10 days and let them give us vegetables to eat and water to drink. He says, please. He respects the authority. Why? Because all authority comes from God. Then let our appearance be examined before you, and the appearance of the young men who eat the portion of the king's delicacies. And as you see fit, so deal with your servants. He proposed something, please. Give us only vegetables and water. Well, vegetables means maybe wheat, corn, right? Something from the plants. And then you see, after 10 days, what happened? Now, what is this? Is this the food and the wine from the king's table was something terrible, contaminated? Maybe. What happened? What happened? Sometimes that wine, that meat, that food could be part of a sacrifice to false gods, to idols. That's why Daniel and his friends didn't want to be contaminated by that food and wine. So he asked the boss to test them. 14. So he consented with them in this matter and tested them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their features appeared better than fire in flesh than all the young men who had ate the portion of the king's delicacies. Thus, the steward took away their portion of delicacies and the wine that they were to drink and gave them vegetables. So the steward agreed. He agreed. Gave them wine and vegetables. 17. As for these four young men, God gave them knowledge and skill in all literature and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now, at the end of the days, when the king had said that they should be brought in, the chief of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. Then the king interviewed them, and among them all none was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore they served before the king. When it says they served, it's not that they were taking the trays or pouring the wine in the cup. No, that's like ministers. They were trained 3 years. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding about which the king examined them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers who were in all his realm. You see, but this is not for free, right? No. They prayed. They looked for communion with God, with their God. They didn't forget him. Even though these people try to change their culture, their beliefs, their language. 3 years of training, imagine, like college. 3 years. And these were young men, around 15 years old. But they stayed firm in what they were taught. in the faith of their parents, but by conviction, genuinely believing in that God of Israel, not because tradition. No, it's not because tradition. Why? Because the relationship to God or with God is a personal relationship. Salvation is by faith. By grace of God through faith. In our world today, we face these same situations. We have some conviction, some belief, and there are people around trying to impose their view. But remember what we said last time. Not because millions say something is good, it's good. Maybe it is. Because it's good in itself. Not because millions of people say so. And sometimes the opposite. Because few people say something is bad. It doesn't mean it's not bad. Only 2 people say that's bad. Well, so happened with the prophets that warned these people, these nations. Be careful. A judgment is coming. And they didn't listen. Come on, prophet. We have our own prophets. Today many people have their own prophets, their own Bible, their own interpretation. They want that fix their lives. Because it's a convenience Bible. The Bible doesn't lie. It shows us the way we are. Remember, the Word of God is a sword that penetrates to the inner parts of the being. And this young man, they stood firm with the Word of God. Maybe you are now in a foreign country, right? Or in a city different than your hometown, among different people. But God is everywhere. And His Word is eternal. He doesn't lie. You can trust Him. You can trust His Word. You can trust Jesus Christ, the Son of God.